horseshoe. This is disorder. This is size 10 chaos.
Tired of being stuck on 76, 95, 476, 222. You get the picture. Anyway, jump on this train.
Our first story is a little bit local here. It started this summer, faded away, and now it's starting to pick up steam again. I'm talking about ATM explosions. There was one in Chestnut Hill this week, and there have been a series of them that happened this summer. The most recent one was December up until this past week. The bombings are insane because guys are, they're jacking dynamite into an ATM. And then I kept reading these stories, Philly area. So it got me to thinking, is this exclusive to the Philly area? So then I started doing a little digging. Or in 2018, 2019, there was a guy, 3 bombings in Tampa Bay. On the third one, he finally got money. According to the report he got to the Tampa Bay, report in the Tampa Bay Tribune, he got nearly $70,000. He had an accomplice with him. So, okay, we're going to be doing some math in a moment here. So he got nearly $70,000 on his third attempt. Their fourth attempt, then they wound up getting arrested in Georgia for trying to blowing up another ATM. They didn't get any money there. So out of 4 bombings, they got 2 of them. They got nearly $70,000. Okay, so that's not even $35,000 a piece. All right, now let's subject the gas, getting down from how they got from South Carolina down to Tampa. All right, let's subtract overhead for lodging and subtract overhead for food. So $35,000.
And the explosives they had to pay.
Yes, thank you, Pete. Thank you. So by that point, you're probably, what do you think they spent? Probably $3,000 out of the $35 that they're going to have.
$3,000 a piece, so they both had $32,000.
You might as well get a job, fellas. Just get a couple of jobs.
We must, all of us, on this train of life, remain in our allotted station.
It's time for the D train with Darren DaVoue,
the divine keeper of the sacred engine.
Hello, this is Governor Ed Rendell. When I want the best talk radio, I just hop on the D train, take it all the way down to the sports complex.
Yes, welcome, folks. Thank you for joining us on a D train to D train. That was the old show. The D train with Darren DaVoue. I'm here in CMP Radio Studios joined by the living urban legend, Uncle P. Today on the D train, we're going to be talking about Skip Bayless's new contract, among other things. The Eagles news, the Big McClain article that came out this week. But first, the D Train is brought to you in part by Aunt B's Country Kitchen. At Aunt B's Country Kitchen, located at 2300 West 4th Street in Chester, they pride themselves on providing savory comfort food, casual dining, and a hospitable experience that you'll never forget. Take out or have an event catered. Either way, when you get a meal at Aunt B's Country Kitchen, you won't be disappointed. Go to AuntB'sCountryKitchen.com to check out their menu and order, or call 484-474-6779. And when you pick it up, tell them you rode the D train there. Aunt B's Country Kitchen for food that you'll love. Yes, and here we are, first block of the D train on our second run. Once again, thanks for joining us. Oh, I can fade that out. We'll start off the Big McClain article this week. The big news of the week, the Jeff McClain article about Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie's relationship. It mainly just confirms in your gut what most people knew and felt in their gut, that Roseman has Lurie's ear. But as you read the article, who didn't get that impression that McClain definitely is a Game of Thrones fan? Because the way he was painting Roseman in the article was total Littlefinger, right down to the whispering in the ears. But this is not good. This is not a good harbinger of what's to come for next season. When your team is making the news in other ways besides the team, when they're talking about the management and not the team, then that's always a bad idea, a bad harbinger about what's to come for the upcoming season. But nowadays, with his involvement in player choices, how the teams run, Jeffrey Lurie, he's starting to remind me of another owner. I can't think of who. It's not. It'll come to me later. Anyway, I'd like to reference a Christopher Sims. Chris Sims, he's the son of Phil Sims. A recent assessment he gave on Jalen Hurts. And basically it came down to this. He's got teammates respect, commands the huddle, needs a lot of improvement as a thrower. And that assessment sent a chill down my spine because it reminded me of this fella. Yes. Tim Tebow, a.k.a. Second Jesus. So, and then so when you're thinking of what if Hurts, if he please no. So the Sixers, moving on to the Sixers, they continue to be a little ray of sunshine after somewhat dominant wins over the Bulls and the Wizards after coming back from the All-Star break. And one of those wins against the Bulls came without Embiid and Simmons in the lineup. And, maybe Sixers fans can depend on Matisse Thybulle and Tony Bradley to go a combined 12 for 12 like they did for the rest of the season when Embiid is absent. Embiid is out at least 2 weeks due to a bone bruise. Adrian Wojnarowski. I always mess this guy's his name.
Wojnarowski.
Yeah. It's a tongue twister for me. He reports that Embiid is out at least 2 weeks due to a bone bruise. If you saw Embiid go down, it was like it reminded me of soccer when he went down. Like when the soccer players, you seen them, P, when they go down and like, dear sweet baby Jesus, sir, this is basketball, not soccer. But the Sixers play tonight against San Antonio. That game's at 6:30. Our team that plays on water in a frozen state, the Flyers. They're in a bit of a funk. They got beat last night, getting swept by the Washington Capitals. Goalie Carter Hart. He got benched last week when he got lit up by I can't remember if it was the Buffalo or Washington, but he took his benching like a man. He said simply, "I didn't play well," and then unlike some people that have played in this town in the past, not to be piling on you, Carson Wentz.
He needs to know. He's always crying.
Tough love it is. Tough love. Wake up.
Yeah. Defenseman Phil Myers, healthy scratch against Washington. That's when you're in a slump when you're a healthy scratch. They say, just sit it out. So that brings us to the Phillies, and the Phillies didn't have the best of weeks. They went 2-3, losses to two American teams that I hate the most. The Yankees, for obvious reasons, and Toronto because of the '93 World Series. Never forget. Well, actually, no, wait. The Phils have won a title since then. So I need to get over it. Speaking of getting over it, my Odubel Herrera watch in his return from domestic violence arrest to the Phillies action. Joe Girardi, Phillies manager, was on WIP this week saying he's actually the favorite at this point for the center fielder position. The Phillies play. Did the Phillies play yesterday? I missed it. Now that moves us on to what I've been watching and reading. I started a book. I'll give you the review of that next week. The Johnstown Floods by David McCullough. But what I've been watching, I watched an interesting little documentary. If you saw it, OnlyFans, which was it was only an hour, so it's not a waste. It's only a good hour, so it's not wasted. It shows people giving selfies and videos to subscribers. So you pretty much they charge $10 a month, or excuse me, $10 to $20 per month per subscriber. So it sounds like they're doing cutting out some of the websites a little bit by going straight to the content provider, connecting them to the consumer rather than having to go through Pornhub. But one girl, her name is Winter, she said she was going to quit her job when she started making $10,000 a month. And then that became her full-time job. But then I'm sitting there watching and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm watching the videos and she's showing her big oiled up booty from different angles. And I'm like, but there's only so many angles and thongs that you can twerk that big old booty with. So essentially at some point, she's going to have to up the game in order to keep her subscribers engaged. Sure enough, on cue, she talks to her boyfriend. Listen, honey, what do you think about joining in? And at which point you're crossing that line into actual porn. And I wondered how that conversation would go. Like, when your woman, Peter, what do you think? Your woman sits down, honey, are you a team player? Like, then eventually, after the boyfriend, they keep doing that. Then eventually, you have to up the game. So sure enough, she was recruiting a girl for a threesome. Now I can understand how OnlyFans. They were talking about celebrities, and I can understand how OnlyFans. They showed Cardi B from the set of the WAP video, and she was providing, like, on her OnlyFans page, she was providing right there interactive content with her subscribers, exclusive interactive content. And I could see that because fans love gobbling that up. Side note, that song WAP, say what you will about it, it's descriptive. I mean, she leaves no stone or in this case, no ass unturned. Oh, but then actually that got me to thinking, P, and folks, I think I'm gonna start my OnlyFans page. Yeah, I'm gonna do is undercut the market, $2 a month. That way, I figure I'll make it my money in total volume. But I'm just gonna keep it really PG, like for the fetish crowd. I'm looking for them. I'll just lotion my feet right there on screen for $2 a month. No,
I'm just trying to find out where the sugar mama's at.
Yeah, I know that's right. You going sugar mama shopping?
Yeah.
They got that website. They got that website for women. There's got to be one for guys.
No, it's not.
You checked. You beat me too.
To much dismay, I have checked.
Okay. What else was I watching? I was also off. I recently watched the sequel that no one asked for. Of course, different people have different opinions. So, please don't blast me if you want to want my opinion on. But Coming to America 2, no. It was Eddie Murphy, strictly paycheck work right there. You could tell that. They said, play the hits. Go play the hits. Do the barbershop thing. Do that. Eddie, Arsenio, stand there and recreate that magic from 30 years ago. Yeah. Some people said it was mostly improv, and I'm like, yeah, no kidding. It was obviously that nobody took the time to write this damn movie. I checked out at about 15 minutes in. No, actually 20. I checked out at 20 minutes in.
I actually enjoyed the movie.
There you go. See, there you go.
You can't compare a sequel to the original.
Okay.
If you do, you lose luster on the original.
Okay. Yeah, and that's the thing, like watching that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a new movie to me.
Okay. There you go.
Just from old actors, from old.
There you go. See, fresh eyes. Pete looked at it with fresh eyes.
That's how you got to look at things, especially coming from a black perspective.
Right.
You don't have enough black movies.
Right. And
if you tear that down, no one else will put out their project.
Okay.
But go on. Carry on.
I started watching a interesting little BBC series on Hulu, Horrible Histories. I wish I'd had, this show is like history for big adult kids. It's very informative, very clever. They do parody reenactments, funny songs. I just wish I'd have discovered it when I was teaching. But Horrible Histories, it's a half hour. I definitely recommend it. It reminds me of those. If anybody remembers that children's series of books, you wouldn't want to, and then it would be insert scenario be a Mayan sacrifice or travel on the Mayflower, etc.
Be a part of the transatlantic slave trade. So do they talk about slavery during Horrible Histories?
Actually, no.
Right. So another way they can talk about what they did to us. Right. That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
P, I don't know. Listen, man, Black History Month is over, so you can't.
No,
I'm just messing with
Black History Month is 12 months long.
If you ever seen on Black Dynamite, it says Black Dynamite does not celebrate Black History Month. Black Dynamite celebrates Black History 11 months out the year, except Black History Month.
Except Black History Month.
I'm not going to be dictated.
The same way, right? You're not going to tell me when I can celebrate my people.
I did finish Black Dynamite, so I went on to the other fiendishly clever Black series with social overtone. I was watching the Boondocks. That's an awesome show. And, of course, Uncle Ruckus, which got me to thinking, it made me, I want to start into, like, people in interracial couples. So you watch the Boondocks and now you're thinking all kinds of mischief, and you look at them like you want to bust into your Uncle Ruckus imitation. Lord, how on earth did you ever get that wonderful white person? But that wraps it. That'll take us to the end of the first block. P, thanks for the commentary, sir.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I got you, good brother.
And now, don't forget, at Aunt B's Country Kitchen, located at 2300 West 4th Street in Chester, they pride themselves on providing savory comfort food, casual dining, and a hospitable experience that you'll never forget. Takeout or have an event catered, either way, when you get a meal at Aunt B's Country Kitchen, you won't be disappointed. Go to auntb'scountryKitchen.com to check out the menu and order, or call 484-474-6779. And when you pick it up, tell them you rode the D train there. Aunt B's Country Kitchen for food that you'll love.
No.
Rough on him now.
No, he needs to know.
Okay.
He's always crying.
Tough love it is, tough love. Wake up, idiot.
No.
Rough on him now.
No, he needs to know.
Okay.
He's always crying.
Tough love it is.
Passengers.
All right, Brian Group.
not ramping down. We're just getting started. Nothing stops this train. Nothing.
Rumble, rumble, rattle, rattle, it will never die!
700 level attitude. Heart of the Italian stallion.
Let's talk Sixers, though. Everybody's thinking that we finally have an NBA Finals ready squad after their win over Utah, who has the best record in the league. Am I going to take heat for saying that I don't believe that the Sixers make the finals? And it's a lot to do with this guy. What you got here with Ben Simmons is 66% of a basketball player, right? Basketball has 3 basic tenets: 1, running; 2, jumping; and 3, shooting. I think that, and this is going to sound racist, but whenever somebody, you ever notice when somebody says a statement like that? This is going to sound racist, but you're waiting for, when you hear that, you wait for the but. Yeah.
Let me hear it.
But I think that, not white privilege, but I think that Ben Simmons gets light-skin privilege. Light-skin privilege. Light-skin privilege, because in his 4th year, we're sitting here waiting on that jumper, and they still keep giving him a pass. You know, light-skinned brothers was in for a minute there. Maybe it's me, because when light-skinned brothers was really in on the radio and everything, I was coming up and, you know, I was seeing them getting the play from the girls that I couldn't holler at, you know. Maybe that's me. So maybe I'm just still carrying that.
You just carrying that.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
What happens if the engine stops? We all freeze and die. But will it stop or will it stop? No, no!
It's the D Train with Darren DaVoue.
Oh, I love that one. Such a tonic.
Hi, this is Mayor Mike Nutter. When I want the best in talk radio, I hop on the D Train.
Yes, thank you. We're back at CMP Radio. CMP Radio.
.net.
God dang it. Oh,
damn,
my
man.
God.
It's okay. Cultivating mature positivity. Do you want me to come in and give you the intro when we start? I got you, bro. Whatever we got to do, we're going to get this done.
Oh, goodness. It's that time switch.
Right.
Threw us all off. Yes, this block of the D Train will be talking about explosives once again being used for robberies. Also, a killer cop that was left on the street for a while, etc., etc. The D Train is brought to you in part by the Browning Group. The Browning Group is a full-service, licensed and insured, bonded private investigative and security and processing firm that offers a variety of services throughout the state of Pennsylvania. They specialize in criminal, civil investigation, witness statements, surveillance, workers' comp investigations, and security guard services. They also, at the Browning Group, provide process service of legal documents and security guard services. The services are designed to cater to insurance companies, attorneys, businesses, and private individuals. At the Browning Group, each case is conducted with professionalism and experience so you receive the best possible service at all times. Call 1-800-939-2978 or go to the Browning Group and tell them you rode the D train there. All right. Back for block 2. As we said, our first story. Gotta get these hard. Our first story. Last week we talked about explosive robberies, and this week same thing happened. These people were charged. This robbery took place last year, or 2019, excuse me. but they were recently grand juried. Desiree Adorno, 65 years old. Michael Fields, 34-year-old, were arrested and charged with conspiracy to use explosive devices to steal lottery tickets and money from the safe in Wawa on Richmond Street. Explosive to steal lottery tickets. I mean, like, when you, like, they're going to be everywhere. Like, once you're going to be picking them up. I hope you bought brooms to sweep them up real quick. But anyway, they broke into the store through a window on June 5th and entered, stole merchandise from the shelves. Finding the cash registers empty, officials say Fields distributed several explosives to be placed near a safe inside the lottery machine and in other areas of the store where money was kept. Police have arrived at the store before devices were detonated. The two unnamed participants fled in the car, so they got away. Police said Fields attempted to run away, and they found him hiding under a car and in bushes where they found in the bushes where he discarded a gun, explosives, and other items as he ran. Fields was eventually apprehended by police. Adorno was taken into custody inside the store, so she never even made it out. It was unclear from federal court documents if they would be charged locally, so they haven't even gotten their Philly charges. They have, when you're getting charged, it's like you're at a register. Okay, so we got you for trespassing. We got you for forced entry. They're ringing them up. Oh, that brings us to our next story. You know what, though? I hope that one of these people that are using these bombs and et cetera, I'm sorry, this is going to sound wrong, but I hope they get blown to smithereens at some point.
So you rather just have guts everywhere?
Where is he at? He's over here. No, he's over here. That brings us to our next story, which was a highly unnecessary and aggressive confrontation between two folks. This took place in South Philly, where a gentleman was riding his motorcycle, or a group of motorcycles. You've seen them now. They're all riding in the pack. A guy's following behind them with his 13-year-old in the car. The group stops suddenly in front of him. The guy rear ends one of the bikes. And then that's when all hell breaks loose. Guy comes off the bike, demands money. The other guy's like, hey, well, yeah. Next thing you know, the guy, if you've seen the video, you have to look it up. We got this story from NBC 10, and that's where I saw the video at. But the guy starts throwing bricks into the car window, throws another brick through the window, then starts to go and retrieve a gun.
That escalated quickly. That really got out of hand fast.
You jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, I stabbed a man in the heart.
He went to get it until somebody told him to chill out. That's kind of scary because, it can happen that fast. Like, people in their tempers nowadays, man. You got to maintain. Also, though, this brings up the point of safe following distance. A lot of tailgating going on out there nowadays. You see cars getting rear. I get, the tailgated all the time on those Delaware drivers mainly. They're always trying to push traffic. Our next story is about a murderous cop who was indicted this week. Reiser, is his name, Brian Reiser, arrested on 2 capital murder charges last week, even though he was allowed to patrol the streets of Dallas for years. Reiser had arranged for 3 guys to murder 31-year-old Liza Sanchez. Her body was found in March 2017, dumped in the Trinity River near Texas. 3 men were arrested in that case. One of them told investigators in August of 2019 that Dallas Police Department officer Reiser had ordered the killings, according to the arrest warrant affidavit. Now, last week, Reiser was arrested, but the cops were told in 2019 that he was responsible for these murders. Apparently, Reiser was trying to cover for his father, who was arrested in 2017 on federal charges or dealing heroin and dealing marijuana. And also, Reiser's brother is a cop with the Dallas Sheriff's Department, so he got full. But they left Reiser out on the streets for 2 years. They say to not compromise the investigation. Reiser's bail is set at $5 million. Oh, I lost P. Damn. Am I bombing that bad? It's the hour switch, folks. It's the hour switch.
It's definitely the hour switch, bro.
It affects us all. I was thrown off this morning because I woke up. I meant to be up at 5, and I was like, yeah, I'll be up. But not think, totally brain farted about the analog switch. Looking at an analog, or excuse me, about the hour switch. I'm looking at an analog clock throughout the night. Sure enough, the clock says 5. I'm like, okay. Look at my watch. Oh, snap. So, yeah. I
apologize.
It's all good. I was saying, if anybody was tuned in, I was saying, damn, am I bombing that bad today? Like, what's going on? Villanova sophomore linebacker was arrested this week on forced sexual assault charges. Young man, sugar. Where am I? Ranez. Oh no, I lost it here. That's why. We talked about hard copies, but my man. What happened was I can't give you his name right now because his name's not coming up for me. But anyway, Villanova sophomore linebacker for the football team. He, according to the story, he was arrested this week. What happened was in 2019, he and a girl met when they were freshmen. He lured her back to his room, at which point he forcibly assaulted her by making her perform oral sex. So then reported it to the school, but then chose not to go any further with the charges and criminal charges. She didn't want to go through that until Solomon kept harassing her after that, at which point she changed her mind, pressed charges, and now Solomon's arrested. He just couldn't keep that yap shut. He just could. Not that you're supposed to be getting away with these kind of things. I'm all against rape, drugging, all that stuff.
Sure, get them drunk, tell them a few lies, but once the brain shuts off and the muscles collapse, that's when I take the high road. And you know what? The law agrees with...
The law agrees with me. Yeah. Hopefully we don't lose P again. That brings us to our next story. This is what happens when an angry person has too much time on their hands. This gentleman, he's a Jersey man, drove all the way up to what's called, I didn't even know that America had a Stonehenge, but this Jersey guy drove all the way up there. It's located in New Hampshire. Defaced the property. He vandalized it by taking a jackhammer and cutting in to the stones there. He cut in the popular QAnon slogans such as where we go one, we go all, but in anagram form. Again, we discussed this last week about people having too much time on their hands. Sir. It's a slogan for QAnon. They talked on it, but QAnon, if you don't know what QAnon is, and congratulations, QAnon is a theory where they believe that Hillary Clinton entertainment elites, former, et cetera, are holding children and using their blood. And I can't even, because it makes no sense whatsoever, but you got to give it to the people that believe in that sort of thing. To believe a theory like that really takes commitment. Like you are like in for it, in for the long haul. There was our next story, Zoom court. I'm sure everybody saw this video this week. Gentlemen, there was a Zoom court meeting. There's supposed to be, this is for a protective order meeting. My man is not even supposed to be within 150 yards of the girl. And you can see in all the screens where the prosecutor starts to notice. You can see it. That was the best part too. If you've seen the video, you can see on the screen where at some point she starts to have this, what the look, and that's when she stops you seen where she stops the judge, asks the girl to verify if she's safe, because now she suspects that dude is in the same room. But also led her to believe that because at some point in the hearing, his screen goes blank for a few minutes. Then he comes back, and the girl's being given evasive answers. Case in point, when the prosecutor raises that point, the judge stops and asks the woman, "Excuse me, where are you?" The girl says, "In a house." So that's an evasive answer right there. The judge asks for them to both verify that they're at different addresses. The judge tells the defendant, to go outside, take a picture of where he's at. He refuses. That's when the cops are called, and the whole rules fell apart right there, because that's when the cops are called. The cops come in, and the cops are locking him up. He's got a cigarette in his mouth, and he's trying to apologize to the judge at the same time. And the judge just stopped. Like, stop, my advice, stop talking. He was out on bond, so that's revoked. So you couldn't find any place to stage up just for that couple of hours. Oh my God. Excuse me. I got scared when I heard this story. I got scared when I heard that a Darren was wanted in Chester, but fortunately it was not me. Darren Majid, he's wanted. I saw this in my Facebook feed. It's funny how that popped up, because it must be because of the area you live in after a while, but okay. So Darren Majid pops in. Now what they say is reward offered, give his location, gives a number. I'm like, but it doesn't say what he's wanted for. It's just like, they just like, here, take some money. Where you at? Don't worry about all that. Where you at? I hope, well, Mr. Majid, for all Darren's sake, for all the Darren's sake, please, sir, go ahead and turn yourself in. It's usually better that way. They're like bill collectors in that sense. It's better that they find you. It's better that you find them before they find you. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back for our third block, where we're talking about a church treasurer's misappropriation of church funds in the most disappointing fashion. You're on the D Train with Darren DaVoue.
We are not ramping down.
On CMP Radio.
Just getting started.
.net.
Nothing stops this train. Nothing.
Sense wherever I go. Common sense is always good for getting in and out of trouble. Common sense, you smell a bad situation coming, use your common sense. It'll usually give you the right way to go. Common sense, proud sponsor of the D Train. D Train was brought to you by walking. He's walking to exercise, meditate, get out of bad situations. walked into some weight, walk your way out of it. And it's easy. You just put one foot in front of the other. Walking. A proud sponsor of the D-Train. We only got 20 more minutes to go, P. Stay with me. I'm sorry I'm boring. It's the Mad Greek for this last book.
He doesn't have expert opinion. He's an expert at giving his opinion.
Moving on to our next story, CPAC was last weekend. There was a controversy regarding the presentation. The stage resembled this Nazi symbol. I don't understand where all this rallying around the losing sides. Like the Confederacy, the Nazis, 0-2. The guys that celebrate those Nazis and Confederates, I don't understand them and dedicate all their hate, because my thing is, I'm not gonna go righteous black man. I'm just thinking, you know what else you could be doing with your time? You can't even enjoy a meal. You're sitting there so full of hate, and they're like, Lord, bless this meal. Hopefully, Lord, give us the speed to get it from the plate to our mouth before some Mexican or Negro comes and steals it.
It's the D-Train.
In the beginning, order was prescribed by your ticket. First class, economy, and freeloaders like you.
With Darren, DaVoue.
If we ever go outside the train, we'd all freeze and die. If the engine stops running, we'd all die.
Yes, welcome back. You're on the D-Train you're on that. It's just really throwing me off with those references earlier, the whole show. You're on the D-Train with Darren DaVoue on cmpradio.net. Thank you for joining us. As always, joined in the behind the glass by the big man in orange, Uncle P.
Yo. I was back here snoring, bro.
Yes, you were.
I apologize, man. Might need to bump this show up, maybe 10 o'clock. The hour change. 9 to 10. 10 to 11.
Oh, goodness.
This 8 o'clock thing ain't getting.
Yes, indeed. Or I'm about to do you like we're in a relationship. Or you could just give me a key. No.
You could get a key. You want to run this whole thing by yourself? You could definitely get a key.
Oh, goodness. The D-Train in part is brought to you in part by the Mad Greek. The Mad Greek, located at 2805 Chichester Avenue in Marcus Hook, is delicious freshness. Go to the Mad Greek for delicious gyros, or actually gyros if you want to be. Gyros, falafels, kebabs, salad. It's all delicious at the Mad Greek, and it's all done with fresh ingredients. Again, call 610-494-0400 to order, or go to themadgreekpa.com.
I've never eaten any Greek food.
Shut the front door. Oh, my goodness.
Like, because I don't know. I don't trust it. Indian food,
Okay.
Greek food, Chinese food. It's just their food. It's not mine.
Right.
So I don't eat it.
Okay. I've always had that curious mind where I'll try anything. Yeah, so you put it in front of me, I'll eat it. I'll try anything once, culinary-wise. But yeah, Greek food, delicious. The flavors, yes.
I have to get down there and check them out.
Yes. Best baklava I've ever had. Baklava, and
I can say the words. I just never ate it before.
They make the best one I've ever had, and I thought that before they started cutting the check to the show, so you know it's real. Yeah,
baklava. Yeah. What is baklava?
It's phyllo dough, nuts. It's very simple. Phyllo dough, nuts, cloves, honey drizzled over it.
Is that like a dessert?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's a pastry. There we go. Yeah. That brings us. Okay, so our first story. We're going to start off. Our first story is not funny, but it's kind of funny. A gentleman in Southwest Michigan, he died. He died in a fatal fire. The fire was caused in part by the fact that he was smoking with his medical oxygen. Yeah. So that'll happen.
Well, that's true. You really can blow up.
Oh yeah.
Well, my aunt used to smoke with her oxygen.
Oh my. Yeah, he actually caused a fire a year before he killed himself last week.
Oh, he wanted to die.
Yeah, either that or he wanted to keep smoking.
He had death on his mind. I'm going to die from this.
I'll die doing what I love, and that's smoking.
I'm going to die from this.
And that actually reminded me of when I would be walking. I used to live in South Philly. I used to work at this tourist trap in, I used to work at the City Tavern in Old City. And then I'd be walking about once a month. I'd see this grandfather, and I'd cut through this playground park. Once a month, I'd see this grandfather there, pushing the swing with one hand, smoking the cigarette with the other, and the oxygen is right over here. And I would give them a wide berth in case he blew up. But then I would always look at that kid and just look at the houses across the street like that kid's going right into somebody's bedroom.
Right straight through. Yeah. Honey, did you order a kid?
Yes. Oh.
He grew up in a time where smoking was cool, though.
Okay.
Right. So, everybody smoked. They smoked on airplanes. They smoked everywhere.
Yeah.
So, how can you can't hate on them.
You can't change
grew up in.
And you can't change the player's game.
It'll be hot now. You can't drink in a bar. And you can't smoke in a bar or nothing.
They treat it I feel like it's contraband in a lot, especially around some kids.
It causes cancer. Of course it's contraband. You get cancer from smoking cigarettes. I know somebody that don't smoke any cigarettes got cancer.
Right. That's what my grandmother would say all the time when I would tell her. Teenage years can be awkward and tough enough, but in this young fella's case, they definitely were. Now, what happened was he was shot. Young fella, doctors were confused when the kid came to them initially complaining of congestion. So they treated him, they gave him the usual treatment for congestion. He came back, he was still having the same problem. Now, this went on for a long time, years even. Turned out the kid had a BB gun a BB in his nose. Researchers, they did a CAT scan, and there was a 9mm spherical structure in his nasal cavity, according to the report. So they did surgery, and he's doing better, but what had happened was tissue started, the BB was lodged in there, and tissue started to grow over that BB. There would be a foul odor. He was always complaining about that for years. Foul odor every time he blew his nose. It would stink. It smelled like they described it as a disgusting odor that would fill the room. Now, the foul odor was caused because foreign body goes in, and the blockage, there's a blockage of the natural drainage, the mucus drainage pathways. And so there's a buildup of mucus, inhaled debris, and bacteria all in his nose. It contributed to that smell. Damn, can you imagine being around him when he blew if he sneezed? Like, yo, is that your ass or your nose? What's going on?
Damn.
But so they removed, and in this case, the foreign body was in there for a long period of time. The doctors caught it in time because it could have caused a development of an infection that could have spread to his eyes and jaws. So now he can go back to being around his friends and whatnot.
And having a normal smelling nose.
Yes.
Your nose doesn't stink anymore. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Right. Our next story. Oh, this one is a little sad. This one is about a church treasurer in Pennsylvania, I think. Yeah. Church treasurer in Pennsylvania. He got arrested. He had been misappropriating church funds. Damn, boy, oh boy.
So he had all these women?
No. What happened was, what happened was my man was misappropriating the church funds. He was spending them on this website, which is flirtforfree.com.
It's never free.
Yeah, and that's they should get in trouble for false advertising. Right, was my first thought.
Free. It's never free. Don't fall for it.
So he wasn't paying bills. So church utilities are starting to get shut off. They're trying to have service in the dark. I'm picturing them trying to have service in the dark, but bills get unpaid. People become suspicious, so eventually the cops show up. When the cops arrested him, first they checked his records before they arrested him. They found that he was spending a lot of money at this website, and so when they questioned him about that, he said that he was spending that money on that website to help the young ladies, and yeah. Looking at these ladies, that's definitely the first thing I think of when they need help. Yeah, I mean, and by help they mean your credit card number. That's our last one story. This guy might have enjoyed the cocaine aspect of Scarface way too much. This took place in England. This doctor he did 8 years. He did 8 years. He's a surgeon, and he did 8 years because what he did was he laced cocaine with his lover, who was married at the time. He did 9 years in 2019. He was found guilty of aggravated rape and bodily harm. His lover, named only as Yvonne, overdosed on cocaine that he had placed on his genitals. He did that unbeknownst to the dearly departed Yvonne. Yvonne was also a patient of his with whom he was having an affair. And the oral sex was consensual. The drugging, however, was not. This was in Germany, Halberstadt, Germany. She later died in hospital. It was discovered that not only at the time the surgeon had used cocaine this way, he drugged and sexually assaulted 3 other women. In September 2015 and February 2018. So then he just got this civil settlement. The civil settlement by the surviving husband and the son, and that's for 25,000 pounds. 25,000 pounds. Everything's worth more than $1 now, so that's good. But that was to help cover the funeral and to also, victim suffering and whatnot. I'm trying to picture the doctor, though, when he's in jail. Like, that conversation, what are you in for? I killed somebody with my penis.
How much did he have to put on there for her to OD? Because there's a certain level of people that, they can snort a lot. Right. And that's not her first time snorting. So did he dip his dick in a bag?
Now, dealing with this guy, I would hope that it wasn't, because he seemed pretty into this whole cocaine deal. But yeah.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug. But back to he said he was spending it on back to that, treasurer. What troubles me, though, what's worse about that is, not just misappropriating those church funds, but I mean, honestly, who pays for porn nowadays? Like, it's 2018. Like, he doesn't have friends that he could have talked to about this. Like,
it's that personal contact that you'll pay for. That thrill of meeting somebody new. You got Christian Mingle.
Okay,
right?
That's what OnlyFans offers as well. Okay,
people want to be able to access that person in their personal, in their home, while they're driving in their car. Pull a titty out. Right?
Right.
Ding, 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 ding. Things start dinging. They start sending more money. Like,
keep it coming. Okay,
yeah, that want for human interaction is there, but throughout COVID, we haven't had it. So,
okay.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's up with this church? Because wasn't nobody having no church. So where were they getting the money from?
Right. How about that?
I don't know.
How about that?
Maybe they was dealing in cocaine.
Right. Our final story. The Milwaukee Bucks were trying something different when instead of the kiss cam, they were trying the hand sanitizer cam. And to say the least, the hand sanitizer cam, when you see it, look at this. Yeah, it's a little suggestive. I get where their head was at, but the execution was just a wee bit off. But so they're going to go back to the drawing board on that one.
Explain how it was a wee bit off. Because I don't see nothing wrong. Like
okay.
The hand sanitizer is squirting on people that need hand sanitizer. Well,
there you go. And you know what? Some people played right along with it. And they got their hands right under there. But then other people who were very sophomoric and immature, as I probably would have been if I'd have been at the arena. There, you see how there. Oh, but that takes us to, oh, wow, it's almost 10 o'clock, Pete. Or 8 o'clock right now. We're going to put, Huh? Is it?
What?
No? Oh, shoot. Can we?
You're good, bro.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
Keep on going. This clock right.
Keep on going.
We got to get this clock right. Oh, Skip Bayless, our final story. Skip Bayless is actually our final story. We're going to go to our advertisers. We will be running long. Right. Skip Bayless. So if you don't like Skip Bayless, that's too bad because there's going to be 8 more years of him after he signed his new contract for millions of dollars, which only makes me say, well, what? Skip Bayless is excellent at what he does is he comes out the door, sticks his finger in the air, feels the breeze of public opinion going one way, and then said, I'll go that way. And that's how he makes his hay. He reminds me, and that's why they tried because they were. He signed a new contract with Fox Sports to keep him still there doing the Undefeated with Shannon Sharp rather than get the band back together at First Take with Stephen A. And so it was a bit, though. It's a bit. And it got me to thinking, because Stephen A., let's take Stephen A., for instance. When Stephen A. wrote for the Enquirer here, that was how I first heard about Stephen A. And I seriously looked forward to reading his stuff. Then when I saw him on TV, and, I was like, this can't be the same guy that I've been reading all this time, because he's sitting there. I know LeBron James. I've said hello to him in the hallway. But if you think, and then he gets to start screaming and spitting and slobbering like Sylvester the Cat chugged 2 monsters. I'm like, this can't be the same guy. But then after watching it for a while, you realize it's a character. And so that's essentially what he and Skip Bayless would do. They were 2 characters, and they would take turns, to use wrestling terms. They would take turns being the heel or bad guy, or the face, the good guy, right, in each on topics. And so it was a long-running bit. So it just goes to show how people that talk bad about wrestling, no, wrestling is life. I keep telling you, you take the break from wrestling when you turn about 14, but you got to come back to it when you're 30 or so. There's a lot to learn from wrestling. Wrestling is life. And to say anything else is disrespectful. And that's our last story, Pete. So with that, we got to remember, folks.
We're just getting started. Nothing stops this train. Nothing.
So that'll do it for the D-Train. Remember, the D-Train is brought to you in part by the Mad Greek. go to the Mad Greek, located at 2805 Chichester Avenue. I'm going to bring you some next week, P. Oh, wait, no, it's a... Yeah, I'll bring you some next week. Yeah,
You're going to have to go and get that fresh.
Yeah.
Bringing me nothing Sunday morning that you picked up Saturday night.
I'll drop off some during the week. Yeah,
good.
Yeah. I'll bring you all about... Wait, you one of the brothers that don't eat pork, right?
I don't eat no smart.
Okay, there we go. All right, so go to the... No pork for pig. Go to the Mad Greek in Chester, the Mad Greek in Marcus Hook for delicious gyros, falafels, kebabs, and salad. They have a delicious variety of Mediterranean food, desserts, baklava, and they're located, again, right off of I-95, 2805 Chichester Avenue. Call 610-494-0400 or go to themadgreekpa.com to order. And when you get there, tell them you rode the D train there. The Mad Greek, deliciousness, freshness. And
We're not ramping down. We're just getting started. Nothing
thanks again
stops this train. Nothing.
Thanks again for joining us this week, folks. We're going to try and keep P awake next week.
Yeah, we're definitely going to try to do that.
We're going to hopefully we'll adjust to those hours, and maybe I'm just going to have to bring some. I guess I got to. P, are you telling me more energy? Is that what you?
No,
okay.
Just maybe more rest.
Okay, all right. Here we go.
Maybe more. That hour, I'm trying to tell you, that hour is affecting a lot of people today.
Okay.
It's going to come out in a lot of people's work. But Elijah Solomon was a Villanova student. That was his first name, Elijah Solomon.
Okay, thank you.
First name was Elijah Solomon.
Yes.
I'm trying to do like the things that you missed.
Right.
So you can keep on flowing at the end of the show.
Not a problem.
Right.
Yes, sir. The D train is also brought to you in part by the Browning Group. Give them a call. They'll process, serve, secure, investigate it all. And also by Aunt B's Country Kitchen. Aunt B's Country Kitchen for food that you'll love. Join us next week, same time, same bad station on cmpradio.net. You're on the D Train with Darren DaVoue, and thank you for tuning in.